Welcome everybody to MyCity on November 10th. It's hard to believe. It's 11/10/23 already. And it's great to have everyone here. So we're going to do our quick introductions. We'll give each speaker or attendee a minute to introduce themselves, what their job is, who they're looking to connect with, and also maybe if you're new, who invited you. So let's start with our good friend, Phil Wolfstein.
All right, well, happy to lead off the parade here. Good morning, everyone. Phil Wolfstein with Zoom Business Brokers. I'm a certified business broker, and what I do is I help business owners find qualified buyers for their business. And that is something that's easy to say, but it's actually quite a complicated process. That is to prepare and list and sell a business and get that done successfully. Typically takes 7 to 9 months. Most people have a sense of selling your business that it's an event that takes place. It's not. And the sooner that a business owner or seller thinks about selling, puts a succession plan in place or starts developing that, and begins preparing the business for sale, the better the outcome will be. That's just looking at the actual results that you see in the marketplace. So I'm the guy that when the time comes to say, what's the value of my business worth today on the market, qualified buyer arm's length, I am the guy that will come in and make that valuation determination. And then if the business is ready to go to market, list the business, go ahead and prepare the marketing materials and prepare the business to go sell and market the business, vet the buyers, write the contracts, offers, whether it's an asset or stock sale, LOI, take it into due diligence, conditions release, and then deal with landlord or property sales if it's part of the business transaction, and into escrow and ideally a close. Get the point. It's a long process, and during that whole process, I'm always working with a team of professionals like we have here in this networking group I've been a part of for many years now, to help that business owner and the buyer get through to a successful conclusion and transaction. It's Phil Wolfstein with Zoom Business Brokers.
All right. Thank you so much, Phil. Bob, you're up next.
Me?
Yeah, you.
It's gracious. I put the thing together, so now I have to speak.
You can opt out if you'd like.
So, hey, Marie, do me a favor. Can you read what we started texting to people the last couple of days? Do you have that in front of you?
Let me check.
Something to think about. You know, we're rapidly approaching the end of the year. We got holidays coming up, so you know everybody's kind of scatterbrained at this time of the year, right? Find it?
Not yet. Still loading.
Why don't you introduce yourself, though, Bob?
Okay, so I'm the crazy man that started this whole concept. We've been running our networking group now for, I think it's 4.5 years. And we used to meet face to face. Now it's all done by Zoom, which is the way of the world. And you know, now you got AI, so we're seeing changes from AI and all the pieces in there. I've been managing LinkedIn accounts for 17 years, I think it is. Been in the internet for 31 years. There's going to be another next step, isn't there? That's what I want people to think about. 2024 is, Marie posted what we're sending out in text messages in the chat. So if you take a look at that, you can see what we're talking about. So that's it. Listen, I want to meet anybody that wants to grow their business. And like I said, this group has been together. Phil, isn't it 4.5 years? Russell?
Yeah, I think so. At least that.
I met you in 2019, so yeah, about 4 years or so.
Yeah. Okay. Good stuff. Good stuff. All right. So that's my claim to fame.
Thank you, Bob. Okay, I'll go next. I'm Scott Harrell. My business is Lifetree Prosperity. I am an insurance agent specializing in life, health, Medicare, and annuities. I have a brand new Medicare website, lifetreeprohealth.com. And I also have another business where I consult to small business owners, and I can identify many areas of overhead cost reduction services through software that can save them tens of thousands of dollars per year. There's my contact info. And next we'll speak with William Kremner. Good morning, William.
Good morning, Scott. Good morning, everybody. I'm a profit acceleration coach, and I pick up where several people on this call leave off, or vice versa. Small to medium-sized business owners hire us to double their profits in 12 months or less by using our proven formulaic strategies in up to 22 areas of the business, all typically without spending more on marketing or advertising. And unlike other consultants, we assuage the business owner's concerns by showing them how we're going to do much of this in advance of them hiring us. So a good referral for me is a business owner who wants to recession-proof their business, grow the business, crush the competition, or indeed who's thinking about selling their business a little bit down the road. They go to Phil and they say, I want to sell my business for $5 million. Phil tries to hide his laughter and says, dude, I don't think we could get even $1 million for it the way things are right now. Phil sends them to me. I turn them around and get them to a position where they can go back and support a more robust valuation. So power networkers for me are bookkeepers, accountants, business lawyers, which I used to be one of. Please don't hold that against me. CPAs, business brokers, as I just said, commercial insurance, payroll specialists, and that crowd. Let me leave you with this truth. The very first strategy that we implement for the average client typically more than pays for the investment in our services. William Kremner, Advanced Advisory Services. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you, William. Very well said. Appreciate that. Good to see you again. Next, we're going to go with...
if I could, Scott, before I pass the speaking stick back to you fully, I'm going to be in Europe for the next month. So you guys won't see that much of me. I'm actually meeting businesses over there who are considering investing in or opening up activities in the United States. So out of sight is not out of mind, but I won't be on the radar. So just keep that in mind if you would, sir. Thank you.
Awesome. We wish you much success in your endeavor. All righty, our friend Moshe Math. Good morning, Moshe.
My name is Moshe Math. I'm a partner in a company called New and Train Sciences. Our systems look similar to massage chairs at the airport, and that's where it ends. Ours uses sound, light, and vibration, taking your mind and body through a voyage into relaxation through brainwave entrainment. I know that Bob likes when I talk about biofeed in and biofeedback in your driving. Biofeedback, an example of that is when you're driving and you're over the speed limit and you take your foot off the gas pedal and you can see you slow down immediately. Biofeed in is where you become the recipient of these modalities and you become the change agent as a result. But I'll leave you with this quick story. I was at a conference in Framingham, Massachusetts, and someone asked me, what does your system do? And I said to her, you see that glass of wine in your hand? And she said, yes. I said, our system does what that does without the calories and the after effects. In terms of clientele for me, thank you. In fact, my boss at the time said, do you mind if I use that line? I said, no, just remember where it came from. But
I think you should put TM after it and trademark it.
Yeah, well, that and the other program I'm working on, which is I'm going to trademark the term working at the speed of government. But getting on a serious note, getting back to this, you asked earlier, who are my people who could be good contacts for me would be spas. they would be a good contact. Also, I'm trying to get into D1 colleges for the sports teams, because in terms of what our system does, it does not, I do not want to say it could be a standalone for sports recovery, but because they can feel better quickly and be touched and be worked on, they can now use the other methods they use for sports recovery much quicker than they would otherwise. So if those are two areas I would definitely be interested in. There are a whole bunch of other areas, but I don't want to bore you with it. So
Awesome.
Moshe, just a quick question. I mean, out of interest, is what you do, is that a tool for rehabilitation, for rehab, for substance abuse, or is that not a different field?
it is. In fact, we had loaned our system to Covenant House about 13 years ago, 12 years ago, and they loved it. It actually helped. And the reason it helps in a substance house, first of all, for those who are supervisors, whatever, it allows them to take 20 minutes of a break. And you know that commercial on TV, Calgon, take me away? This can let them do that for those who are overworked. But the other way it can help is especially before the psychological sessions. And the reason for it is because it calms them down. And that way the sessions become more substantive and less emotional. So more is accomplished as a result. So it can work there. And there are a whole bunch of other areas. As I said, we figured about 41 different niche areas where this could be beneficial. But thank you for bringing that up.
I can personally vouch for the chair. It makes you feel more present yet calm at the same time, and it's very profound experience. Okay, good morning, Todd Miller. You're up next.
Thanks, Scott. Good morning, everybody. Todd Miller, Regional Managing Partner here in Meridian, Idaho, as Bob always asks. Imagine if you could shield your family's finances from your business's ups and downs. With the right business credit strategy, you can. It's a game changer that could secure your family's future while boosting your business's credit and access to credit and capital. Let's explore how this can work for you.
Thank you, Todd. Nice to see you again. Good
Thanks,
morning,
Todd.
Benny Withrow.
As a business consultant, I want to just underscore the significance and importance of what Todd just said, particularly if they're thinking about selling their business down the road or not exclusively. What Galt offers is a great program, and I heartily endorse it. So very, very important stuff as my people see the world. Thank you, Todd.
All right, love those endorsements. Speaking of endorsements, I endorse my next speaker, Betty Withrow.
Yes, Scott, and your endorsement going out in LinkedIn messages has brought me some great new clients. So
Awesome.
Thank you very much. I am Betty Withrow. I'm the Writer's Launchpad. If you have content that you need generated, if you have a whole bunch of knowledge that the world needs to be exposed to in the form of a book or communication materials of any kind, I'm happy to work with you. I'm a ghostwriter, a content creator, an author coach. I do video scripting, and I collaborate with the A+ team we've dubbed ourselves. Total Traffic and Conversion +1. We just added Joey Garrity as our team member, and we provide marketing solutions for businesses that give them what they really need, using a combination of strategies to bring them to niche domination and visibility online. Whatever marketing needs are going to serve the client best. I'm the content person who goes in and figures out exactly what's going to be the right messaging stream, and we go from there. We have a show on Friday afternoons on LinkedIn and on YouTube, the Total Traffic and Conversion Show, and I invite everyone to visit our show, to be on our show if you would like to. And I thank you all for being here with us on Earth on a beautiful Friday. Thank you.
Betty, what time
Thanks,
is your
Betty.
show?
It's Friday afternoon at 1 Pacific.
Great.
I watched the last week where you brought in Joey. That was very nice.
Oh, Jo
Good
is
stuff.
quite amazing. She and I have been friends for quite a while, and she has very extensive experience working with studios in the film industry and marketing and branding. So we're having a lot more fun than we were even a couple of weeks ago. So it's great.
It always helps when you have fun.
Yeah.
Speaking of fun, the amazing TD Wells, who I met with earlier this past week, he has an incredible platform. So, TD, tell us about yourself.
Well, yeah, first I actually wanted to, I appreciate that that plug there, Scott. But I met with Betty, Bob, Scott. Still want to meet with everyone else here, but all you guys, man, you guys are like super. Like, it's like this particular networking group is like on steroids. You guys really know your stuff, and Betty was fun to talk to. Scott, man, you were always you were definitely exciting, and then Bob, we had a great conversation. We talked for an extended period of time, and so yeah, I wanted to thank you guys for having me here. Ultimately, what I do is I've got basically 3 decades of experience working with car dealerships, and in the mortgage space, I was a direct lender. And it's funny because the story, well, I think for everyone is that everyone wants to get new business. We're using networking to make the transition to basically try to make the business easier. That's kind of the icing on the cake, right? And so the bonus is that we can generate our own business and own our own data. And I always use Elon Musk. Maybe some people don't like him, it is what it was or is. But I think that if we can own our own data and own our own leads and be able to provide without having to pay extra, that is really the strategy, that the way that businesses are going. You don't need to have a middle person. It's not that you don't need to have a middle person. I think that the ability to have your own data is definitely critical. So the point that I'm making here is that we help the business. What we're looking for is small businesses that want to match with their ideal client. Okay. And then we take them, we convert them, nurture those people, and we put them on your calendar ultimately. And then we use that with a multi-channel platform where you can market your business on YouTube, Google, all the major platforms. And it's not that you should do it yourself. I just think that it should be transparent about what's happening and the data that you own. That's really where I'm going with that. You have to own your own data.
Okay.
That's it. So hopefully I didn't say too much or talk too much.
No, but I'm a preacher of what you're saying. I love it. Data is the new oil.
Yes.
That's one of Bob's favorites right there. It's a great nugget.
Yep.
Well, what I really liked about the platform is how you can deploy on multiple social media platforms and see what the response rates are. And so I do definitely want to have TD as a guest speaker in the coming weeks. Okay. And moving on to today's guest speaker, who is new to our program. Good morning, Maria Guevara. Tell us about yourself.
Hi, good morning. My name is Maria, and thank you so much for inviting me over to present a little bit about brand and what I do. So what I do is I help business owners and leaders make their business remarkable and memorable. So I work with current or those who are starting, emerging leaders who have existing or starting their business. Basically, those people who want to master business acumen and streamline their workflow, those who want to train their team or review and improve their brands. So those people basically who want to own their brand and really know the business behind the brand. So my specialty is business and brand strategy, planning, and management. I do provide consulting, coaching, and I do corporate training as well and speaking. So my name is Maria. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Maria. And we look forward to hearing more in a few minutes. Good morning, Jacob Bassett.
Good morning, everyone. I am in, West Dundee. We're about 30, 40 minutes outside of downtown Chicago. I work for a company called Preferred Funding Group, and we have some unique alternative programs for business owners through our relationships with banks. So we're not private lenders. It's not any merchant cash advance like high interest short-term lending. It is traditional lending that most business owners may not think about for the use towards their business or personal use. I'd say that's the major benefit we bring is the ability to go to 3 to 5 institutional lenders at one time, but also there are no industry restrictions and no restrictions on the use of funds for clients. So it is very open-ended, and we provide both a cash term loan along with business and personal credit cards for liquidity and credit building. I would say the best connections for me would be, business brokers like Phil, other business services like William Kremner. Actually, we are going to kind of reconnect, get on a one-on-one. We have some possible clients that we could cross-refer each other. So really any business services that you're providing, if you're coming across business owners who may need access to other types of lending products, there's never one program that is the perfect fit, which is why there are so many different programs out there. But I look forward to connecting with more of you. I have had actually now one-on-ones with many of you guys here now, but I look forward to having some more one-on-ones. Happy Friday, everyone.
Thanks, Jacob. Appreciate you. Okay, let's move on to Russell Lookadoo.
Good morning, folks. Russell Lookadoo, the HR guy for small business. First, I tip my hat to any veterans in the group. I hope you have a wonderful Veterans Day and take advantage of your discounts that you get. Of course, you deserve a heck of a lot more than 10% off at Denny's, but thank you for your service. The HR guy for small business. Let me give you a couple examples of what I do. Maybe that'll help you understand. I've got a meeting Monday with a woman who was the brother of the owner of a small welding business, and she's been asked to be their HR person. She doesn't have a clue what she's doing except she needs to hire people. They have 17 to 25% turnover, so they are bleeding. Turnover costs as much as 3 times the annual salary of the person you have to replace. So 25% turnover is costing them over $1 million a year. Another example, I've got flying out to a client today. They've got a general manager who's been with them 18 years that is absolutely falling apart. Not sure what's going on, why. She breaks into tears during meetings. So I'm going to go out there to help the owner strategize with how to move this person into a position where she's comfortable with respecting her experience and knowledge. So every single client engagement is unique. Everyone is different, but I help align the team with the dream, whatever that means. So nice to make your acquaintance, and my information's in the chat room.
Thank you, Russell. Appreciate that very much. And now our human Rolodex, Alan Holmes.
Oh my goodness! Good afternoon, good evening, good day, wherever you may be. My internet has been going absolutely silly today, so I apologize for that. I am residing in Hemet, California. I specialize in connecting business owners, entrepreneurs, and consumers with unique and innovative resources. In short, I am a human Rolodex or human search engine. Let me collaborate and connect and network any different resources that you may have. I had the honor and privilege of having an incredible conversation with the incredible Jacob Bassett. We're working and collaborating on some things. I invite you to present showcase your offer on my new and improved, it's called ESN Pros. It's my associate's online business directory. So any events, projects, ideas, he's kind of been working in the mix for probably 10 years now. So I'm excited to be the human ambassador for that. And I say that because I would like to kind of shout from the mountaintop, all you incredible resources. And let the whole world know what you're doing. So please, let's have a one-on-one. Thank you, Scott, for and Bob, and just in all the MyCity family for what you do in changing the world. Happy Veterans Day to all of you. Like say Russell and all you veterans, please kiss a veteran, love your family, and behave yourselves. Master Connector, signing out.
Thanks, Alan. Wow, you just said my city family, and my heart just skipped a beat. I swear to God. I love it. Thank you.
Love it too. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Let's connect now with Eileen Dawson. Good morning, Eileen.
Morning. Alan, thank you for referring me to this group. You sure are the master connector. My name is Eileen Dawson, and I am up in Massachusetts. I don't know how many people are in Massachusetts, but that's where I am. And I am a certified Ramsey money coach, and I work with individuals, couples, and I also do group presentations for small businesses, colleges, nonprofits, profits. I just had a training the other day with a business college in my just a little bit a ways from me, and it was great. There were like 15 kids that were in college, sophomore and juniors. They had great questions. They already have student loans. Some of them are subsidized, some of them are unsubsidized. So some they're paying on already, and they're not even finished with school yet. So, but yeah, my specialty is debt. In particular, it's in credit cards, or at least for adults, the 30 to 60-year-olds that I deal with. It's usually credit cards, vehicle loans. Those are tied for how much debt. And then student loans, sometimes people do still have those in their 40s, 50s, and even 60s. So if you know anybody that needs some help with managing debt and personal finance, I'm the person that they definitely need to have a consult with. So thank you, and have a great Veterans Day.
Thanks so much. Good stuff. Okay, up next, Rudy Gargioni. Morning, Rudy.
Morning. So I'm Rudy Gargioni, and I teach people how money works. All the things that we really should have learned in school, but they never actually got around to teaching us. My tagline is finance is not an F word. I want people to be able to talk about finances and their financial future from a place of empowerment, not a place of fear. Maybe even around the dinner table, that'd be pretty cool. So financial literacy is a crusade that I'm on, and it is absolutely crazy how little we're actually taught in schools. I aim to change that with the end goal of generational wealth, because unfortunately that's not happening enough. I intend to change that. I'm Rudy Gargioni. That's what I do.
All right, thanks, Rudy. And our regular guest from Alabama, Corey Northington. Good morning, Corey.
Good morning, everybody. Happy Friday. Well, and everything. So I hope everybody's having a great Veterans Day weekend. And I'm an independent associate of Legal Shield PPLSI. So I help empower individuals, families, and small business owners with legal and identity theft coverage plans. So through, as I call the Netflix of legal services, we can do everything from a limited consultation, a documented contract reviews, to any and everything for a business owner to take their business to the next level. So I'm here to help and everything. So if you need my services, and also be glad to connect you with anybody that y'all think can grow what y'all do as well. And I left my information in the chat, and I just want to say thank you once again for the opportunity to speak, Scott and Bob.
Thank you, Corey. It's always great to see you here. And it's also great to see Burke Franklin. Good morning, Burke.
Well, good morning, everybody. Good to be here. I'm Burke Franklin. Company is businesspowertools.com. I created a software package a long time ago, our system actually, for writing business growth plans, or your business roadmap, whatever you want to call it. But it's evolved into a whole, now it's an interactive, collaborative dashboard full of done-for-you tools. So I've got, right now, everybody's talking about strategic planning for next year and thinking about it. And if you don't have a business plan or haven't done one, I've got the template to use. It's called Biz Plan Builder. And right now, the other thing that people don't have really is a good financial model. If you've got a financial model, it's in plain English. It's designed for even an artist can use it. I say that kind of tongue in cheek because, you know, there's right brain and left brain people. And the accounting people love spreadsheets, and the artists kind of freak out. But it's how to really figure out the numbers, improve your revenue, and drive it all the way through to what the business is ultimately worth, which Phil is interested in. So how do you validate the value of your business when you want to sell it? How do you validate what you're doing for an investor to give you the money? If you need a business plan for an SBA loan, this is like the Swiss Army knife of things for business. Would be a great business plan. And Business Power Tools also includes job descriptions, an employee policy handbook, a safety plan, a bunch of press releases. It's all this stuff you can do it yourself. And it enables a great side hustle with a whole toolbox for what you can do to help clients that you maybe weren't doing before. So you can go back to clients and offer them a whole new bag of tricks. Anyway, take a look at businesspowertools.com. I'm happy to give you a tour and show it to you and answer your questions and refer you. I need you guys to work with my product so I can refer you to my people.
It's amazing how that works, right? Thanks, Burke. Appreciate that. And we're going to next speak with Patty Lou, and you got a nice endorsement from TD Wells. So thank you, TD. Good morning, Patty.
Good morning. I'm Patty. I'm from Richmond, Virginia. Happy Veterans Day. I'm the best kept secret in sports. I increase your children's chances of getting an athletic scholarship for college. I have a master's degree in sports psychology. Parents and athletes do not know my services exist and that it increases their chances of achieving their dreams. Another skill set that I have is the athletic scholarship information and walking parents and their children through that college athletic scholarship process. And this question has come up recently. I would never turn down working with a professional or Olympic athlete. The work I do, I can do virtually. With the holiday season coming up, my services and my digital course are great gifts for parents and their children.
That sounds very interesting.
Patty, do you have a website or somewhere where we can go and take a look at this and learn a bit more about timeframes and costs and a bit more detail?
Yes, I will put it in the chat.
Splendid. Thank you so much.
Very cool. All righty. Thank you, Patty. And now we're going to turn over the mic to our featured guest speaker today. Maria, do you want to do a share screen?
Yes, please. Yeah.
Okay, Marie, if you can enable the share screen with Maria.
And don't worry,
then take...
it's going to be just like a short, quick presentation. So.
Awesome. Take it away. Thank you.
Okay. Okay. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, we can.
All right. So, Bob and I have been talking about, we have been talking about referrals and, building our brands and how do we communicate that. So I thought of putting together a quick discussion about brand and branding. Okay. Let me just move forward and yeah. So we say in marketing, advertising, and communications, and also business development, right? That product and services are just product and services unless we put meaning into it. And when we put meaning to it, it turns into a brand, right? So building a brand is actually putting meaning into something. And the ultimate goal of building a brand, yes, we understand profit should be there, but ultimate goal is to build that reputation and build that credibility. So now the two questions is, how do we do that? I know this is just crash course about business development, but basically we're touching on the higher level thinking of what it is to be a brand. So one thing is, what are the pillars in building a reputation? Okay, we want to be known, in the field, right, of who we are and what we stand for. So how do we do that? So first of all is we identify a target market. Target market, they would say, hey, anybody who has money from 18 to 90 years old or whatever is my market. But oftentimes it's difficult because you have a wide range of people to talk to. And that's why it's good to have a narrowed down, more focused, a market so that you can actually tailor fit the message that you're going to deliver to them in a manner that they can understand and receive. And that's the reason why one of the two is content. And Betty would be, an expert in this because I've also met Betty about that. So, having the right content, for the people that you are addressing to. Okay, so what is relevant for them? What is important to them so that they can actually resonate and align with your brand and who you are, So the next is, how do you promote your brand so that you can emphasize what you bring forward and what value you bring forward to them. So design a strategy on how to promote, whether it be, like in here, in networking groups and also in social media, whether it's streaming and videos and even print advertising, they still do exist, right? Even direct mail pieces still do exist. And lastly, in terms of building reputations, knowing your network. And it's funny because we're here, right? It's amazing that we're here in this, MyCity group, because then you identify who you can really work with, who are the people, once again, tying it back to the target market, who can really work with to disseminate this information about your brand. So when we talk about dissemination, it's actually figuring out what is the design in terms of your brand. It's funny because each little detail in terms of brand development, even the text that you use, even the color that you use, even the placement where you put your brand has a meaning, would have a perception or develop a meaning towards your brand. It builds a perception about it. Like ultimately the perception base is we want to increase the positive perception within the minds of the consumers. That is how we build reputation. That's what we call also identity, right? Creating an identity for a brand based on design. One other thing too, even if you have good design work, if you're not visible in the right channels, then it wouldn't work. In terms of credibility, so what is the pillar? What are the pillars for building credibility? First is, what are your core values? What do you stand for? What drives you? Why are you doing what you're doing? The next would be to identify that further is you identify what your strengths are and what your weaknesses are so that we can highlight and emphasize our strengths. And then if we can, work on our weaknesses, then we'll develop that. If not, we'll go and find out the people who can help us, help us develop our business. That's why, who do you know would be the next thing. And that's why it's fantastic that there's a referral group right now. Okay, so who do you know who could help you, let's say, strengthen your strengths, further reinforce it, help you develop in terms of your weaknesses, or if you don't have time for that, help you, give the resources to help you with your business. And lastly, if you have all of those components, what is your plan? And that's why it's good too that Burke is here and he's talking about the power tools, right? How do you put together the plan? And then later on, how do you implement it? Knowing the people you know, right? So with credibility, a couple of things, core values, once again, what do you stand for? What do you bring to the table? What values that you give to help, society? Because we say, business is just here for profit, but no, for a business and a brand to be remarkable and memorable, it has to have relevancy in terms of, what you can do to the community, right? And what are the behavior and actions that you put in place? What do you do? In terms of inside your people, your internal clients, and also your external clients. How do you relate to them? How do you communicate to them? That builds your credibility as well. So looking into both aspects. And by the way, this concept is applicable to products and services and also to, individuals as a brand, personal branding. So if we combine reputation, what we talked about, the target market, your content, how do you promote, and your networking and your credibility when it comes to your values, what you stand for, what your strengths, knowing your strengths and your weaknesses and who you know to help you out with those things, and what is your plan and how to implement it, and all you put it together, what you're trying to create now is your unique platform. Okay. When we say unique platform, some would say it's a value proposition statement. It's basically relaying who you are, what benefit you bring, and how you can bring it. All the things has substantiation because we do want to have credibility. So in a nutshell, the platform is a unique brand position you can claim and you can own. And if you have read one of the books, I do like this Blue Ocean Strategy, it's actually not competing in the market, but actually removing yourself in the market and be prominent, be preeminent, right? So that's the goal basically, is for us to lift ourselves from competition. So with all of this unique platform, we also want to emphasize on the promise. What is the declaration of performance? How can we really satisfy the market? How can we meet or surpass their expectations? And with that, also consistency when it comes to our core values, the things that we do, even, letterheads and all of that, all has to be consistent. So doing, being, and upholding value over time. That elevates our brand from just like a commodity, but it was something a higher level. So I do want to open it up for discussions if you do have any questions about it. I know it is just a brief run through of what brand is all about. We could talk about foundation, but what we're talking about here is the higher level of where we want to be, the epitome of where we want the brand to go. So with that, I just want to say thank you so much for listening for my, to my short presentation. And, if you do have any questions right now, I'm, willing to answer them. And maybe we can have a discussion here as well.
Brand is everything.
Yes. And by the way, Bob, I just want to, highlight this too. It's like when we have a brand that's credible and reputable, it builds loyalty and it builds sales. And at the same time too, if we're confident with a brand, isn't it, easy for us to refer to other people? So now we're building our base of people. So we're all connecting because of how we stand as a brand. So thank you.
The nail on the head. I'm going to be posting today, by the way, a post that I'd done quite a while back. And it says, it's a picture of me. And I'm going to post it on LinkedIn. It says, your name and your photo is your billboard on the social media highway. That's your brand.
Mm-hmm.
And by the way, everybody, we need to be thinking about our brand and what we're doing with it, because we're getting close to a beginning of a new year, right? So if you don't start thinking now, don't wait to the last minute, because everybody else jumps in at the last minute. Start your stuff now.
Maria, if I can, just a quick question. I know this could be a very lengthy response, but I just want very quickly, how is AI as a tool impacting your business? Is it something that you've adopted, or is that now becoming an important component of your branding programs or planning?
Well, AI, as you said, is a tool. It is a tool. In a nutshell, it is a tool that can be used. But overall, in terms of building a brand, if product and service that you offer is usually creator-led. In my, the philosophy that I am, using is that it's creator-led. It's based on how we want our product and our services to be perceived by the customer. And then putting that together into like a brand. Again, a product service is just nothing if we put meaning to it, and it's because it's from us, it's from our heart, it's creator-led. AI will help us in terms of, let's say content to have trigger points. At the same time too is target marketing. It helps us, expedite learning, expedite research, and also, having like trigger to assess, the personality and details of the brand. So yes, I'm hoping that I'm answering your question. But once again, it goes back to the heart and soul of a brand is the core essence, which is creator-led. AI is just a tool on top.
Are you using ChatGPT 4, or do you have other, what's your main AI tool that you're using now? Just if you don't mind.
Well, right now we're using ChatGPT, yes. Or just quickly research, because before yes, it's easier to put all information in, but once again we also have to verify data. It's not just we just pick it up and just no, we still verify it in other sources. We also do it like oh yeah, I thought I heard somebody. We also verify it with a regular Google search, and if not, other resources.
Thank you.
I have a question.
Yes, Scott.
And then we'll have Betty go next. Do you find that most clients are seeking to find how that they can become that blue ocean because they they want to distinguish themselves from their competition? Because I noticed in your website, you talk about the term transmogrify, which is a wonderful term, which means to transform in a surprising or magical manner. So your one of your objectives is to find that unique niche, or then what makes that company special. Is that your specialty?
Yes, actually before, when I didn't know about the blue ocean strategy, many years ago, and I'm not going to say when, but many years ago, I thought about it and I was like, I called it my dodging the red zone. Okay, I want to dodge red zone because when I was dealing with clients before, they always want to compete. And my question is, why do you want to compete when you can own a platform? So then you're not competing with them. Let them all compete, but you have your own. So that's why I always say I coined that unique platform to stand on, to claim and own, because if you compete, here's the thing: if you compete hand to hand like this, it costs money. So what's the point of doing that? Figure out a way that you can really differentiate yourself from your competition. And to answer your question, Scott, there are some people who say, there are a lot of people doing that? Unfortunately not. Unfortunately not. People just want to compete. But that's why you lift up from that. And that's what my specialty is. Looking into that, where you can actually not really dominate, but lead, lead the true
Right.
or actually lift yourself from that arena to have your own space in the market.
I like that concept.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Betty.
Yeah. So Maria, a lot of what you're doing feeds into the same question that I ask people whenever we're developing content of what do you want this to do? And so your brand strategy is, as you just said, elevating, not competing. And that's what you want it to do for them. And a lot of people don't understand that true creativity is not competitive. You're being original and you're coming up with something new and presenting it with your value proposition in the marketplace. So I just wanted to add that in, that your presentation was awesome distillation of that and exactly how it's done. So thank you. It was great.
Thank you. Yeah.
I think someone else may have a question.
I actually wanted to add something. I thought that was pretty amazing, actually, because I think most people understand that luxury, even though, if you look at like the highly expensive items, right? Even though they may not be the best brand, people actually, they created that. It was created with that in mind. So I totally understand that piece, and I think that's when you're competing, you have to match prices, and that might, they may have different margins. Who knows, right? So I totally get what you're saying. That was really good.
Thank you. And by the way, may I just add into that? It depends also what you want to do, right? What is your goal for your business? What's your goal for your brand? Some people just establish brand, just a quick turnaround, like app developers. We create it, we sell it, we create it. So there are several entrepreneurs. So yes, you can be like, you compete with them based on price point, but if you want to be, lifted up, even though if you're not a luxury item, you still can do it. There are fashion brands or luxury brands and there are premium brands. So it depends on where you're at.
Yes, totally. Yes, absolutely. 100%.
So when you talk about the whole package where you're identifying the brand and then you having the consistent, like the visual and design aesthetic, do you work with a team of designers or do you do that yourself, or how does that work?
Well, yes, I do have some designers I work with, but usually I do it right now. It's conceptualization and strategy. And then usually I just give it to clients because they do have resources as well. So what I do, I digest things in terms of not just the brand in itself, but I look at the business behind the brand so that it could be, because it's funny because all minute details about the brand affects the brand, whether your sales, your operations, your supply chain, your even warehousing, even your internal communication, external, all of that would affect the brand. So I just review that briefly, whatever information they give me, and then I would analyze that. And then it depends if the client wants me to do it, then I would have people. But if they do have sources for internal creative, then I'll just give them the guidance.
Okay. Any other questions? That was a very great presentation, very concise, Maria. I really appreciate that. I like the aesthetics that you bring to it as well. And you are located in Camarillo, is that correct?
Yes, that's correct. California.
And are you looking for a particular type of client right now? For introductions?
Yes, I do. It's basically those people who would like to have a brand review, let's say, or really want to look at how they can get out of the war zone. Get out of the war zone, I would say, or dodge the red zone, I would say. And then, and also those people who want to train their team to align it to the brands, and who just want to master, and I would say this, master business acumen, because to develop a brand, you have to have mastery of your business as well. So I could help with all of those.
Fantastic. And I assume you put your contact info in the chat?
Yes, I did.
All right. So anybody else? Pardon me?
Phil should definitely speak to Maria. I think this leaves a lot of opportunity for his clients to springboard.
I love that word, actually, springboard, because that's what I do in terms of valuation. And that's why I was jotting down notes too. It's like, yes, we evaluate the business. We do evaluate it. Like, Burke has that in the financial side of things. And also Phil has that. So it's operational figures. We have that, but you also have brand assets, because, the brand has value. If you have an emblem of, let's say, Mercedes-Benz, would you buy that as the emblem? Not knowing the business side. They do have a following. There's valuation to that. So there's the brand assets and brand equity that ties in also with the overall financial, standing of a business and the overall corporate valuation. So yes, I would love to, touch base with Phil.
Yeah. So Maria, let's chat. I mean, let's have a conversation. I'd like to better understand how your branding techniques will fit with the marketing side, with the SEO and the marketing side. So yeah, I'd love to talk and investigate that further.
Hey, Bob. William should probably talk to Maria as well.
Okay.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I think we all need to talk to her.
Yeah.
You do. Maria's amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you.
The term that comes to mind is elevate. Elevate your business.
There you go.
Okay, well, we're almost at the top of the hour, so I want to thank everybody for participating, and it's nice to see fantastic new people showing up. Maria, we appreciate that. And I also deeply appreciate how we keep getting some of the same people week after week. So you must see some value in our community here, and it means a lot to me personally, and I appreciate you all. And again, happy Veterans Day. Have a great weekend. And Marie, please prepare the chats to be emailed to all the attendees. And I thank you all for showing up.
Great hosting, Scott. Happy
Thank you very
Veterans
much,
Day.
Phil.
Thank
Good
you.
stuff. Good stuff.
So if I understand
All
you
right,
correctly,
guys.
we're gonna have a
Great.
copy of a copy of today's meeting now, so I'll get to see the whole presentation again on this for my own.
Well, yeah, we will post a recording.
Thank you both very much. Maria, thank you. Oh, she already left.